Hello. Hey everybody, how we doing? Right, so another stream. Let me just get the chat up. Check the volume. How are we doing? Are we live? What's going on here? How are we doing? Does that sound okay? Testing 1, 2, 3. How's that sound? Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds okay. So today we continue on with testing of the animal companions. We have Rhaegar with Cole, the Raven, and we've just finished level 1. Hey Graham, how you doing? Too quiet. Let's have a look. Is that quiet? Too quiet. How is it now? How does that sound? How is it now? I'll check the mic. Anybody else there? How are we doing? Same. So it's still too quiet. That's weird. Declan, how you doing? Nick, good to see you. Nick, how are you finding the volume? Sound alright? Or is it quiet? I can have a look at these settings. Just get a second. Still a bit quiet. Okay. Let me just check something. Bear with me. A little soft for me as well. Okay, hang on. Let me just check here. Trust. Aha, okay. I've got it. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Hopefully that's all right. How are we doing? David, good to see you. Okay. A bit louder. I think that is... Did you find the mic up button? Hey David, how you doing? Well, I do turn it down a little bit on the main settings on the computer because I feel like the mic's quite close. I'm on the smart TV and I got volume on 20, much better. Lots better. Fantastic. Good. Sometimes it is just a question of turning me up a little bit. So, let me just recap beginning of the video. We're going to quickly go over what happened last time. Have a look at the map. I've inked it in. Have a look at the character sheets. Then we're going to play some level 2. And that's all going to be with Cole. So hopefully I'll wake up as well. Yeah, for all those watching the vlog back, we don't start straight away on the adventure. So if you just want to catch up with the adventure, then now's the time to skip forward 5-10 minutes. We just wait a little while just to get a few more people in, which is sort of standard procedure. And yeah, then we're going to get down and dirty in the dungeon. So that'll be fun. And I'm loving the Animal Companion expansion. Fantastic. Let me know how it's going on. Mick Dunn, I'm on a smart... Oh, yes, got that. Good. Yeah, just so you know as well, I have a Bailey's this evening. Also, beginning of the video rather than the end, maybe I should say, you can add the Animal Companions to your pledge if you haven't got it already and you're interested. You you can go to the Kickstarter page and click on the late pledge, and you can add it to your pledge there if you so desire. I just thought it'd be worth mentioning that now, and rather than at the end of the video. It seems a bit silly because not everybody makes it to the end of the video. So that is cool. Okay, good. I've got the core rules for 2d6 Dungeon here as well. So obviously you need those with the animal companions. I mean, in fact, we're just playing 2d6 Dungeon plus the animal companion. So that's where we're at. Okay, so let's have a little recap here. Oh yeah, we were going into town, weren't we? So I've forgotten about that. Right, so just have a look at Regar. Sounds a bit like rebar. And you can see here, level 2, 18 health points, hack, incisive heft, great axe, has a scroll still and a potion. We found a mid-quality ruby. We had a side quest which we fulfilled actually, so I can probably rub that out if I've got a decent rubber. Let's have a look here. Just rub that edge off. That'll do. Did that one, which actually took us to level 2. I've been writing a few bits on the map. Small items, we've got a whole selection of stuff. We've got some rations. We've got coal here. Raven. David, I'd been a while since I've made it to a live broadcast. Well, good to have you here, David. Your map looks awesome. I'm hoping to test this over the weekend. Great. That'll be fantastic. So yeah, I sent it out to some of the testers. So if you get a chance, give it a little bit of a run through. We just want to know whether that's too OP, whether we've got needed to make any changes, that sort of thing. Right. So, oh yeah, we leveled up the swoop ability to 2. So it's now plus HE half. Where do all your ideas come from? It's mad how good it all is. The key word there is mad. I'm slightly insane. I've always had a really overactive imagination. And this is overreactive imagination. And so I've always been able to think of ideas, but you know, I've been DMing and role-playing and gaming. I like to think of myself as an omni-gamer, you know, so I kind of play all sorts of games. So it's all fed in. And for some reason I'm able to access a lot of stuff like that, and I just love narrative. Man, I just love narrative. So I'm always thinking of how I can make that cool. Practice. Yes, even video games. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Graham. Yeah. And mine, definitely. I had a Commodore 64 when they first came out. Upgraded to an Amiga. Went to PC. And now I play on PC on Steam a lot. Games that I like to play are games like RimWorld, but then I also like to play a little bit of PUBG, DayZ. Used to be called DayZ Standalone, but I started off with loads of computer games back in the day. So from Bubble Bobble to Doom, all that stuff. So it's been a massive part of my life. I have an old, DayZ, Amiga. What is DayZ? Love DayZ. There you go. I have 3,000 hours in DayZ. Was the Animal Companions, Nick says, an add-on included or an additional add-on needing purchased? I honestly can't remember at this point. So it was an add-on to the Legendary Dungeon Kickstarter. So when you pledged, you could then add it on after. Hope that makes sense. Well, Mick, a dangerous mind, perhaps. I mean, creative people can be dangerous, but is that how creative people help move ideas forward? Potentially, that could be dangerous. You play DayZ, Omega? I assume you do. Love DayZ. Now, have I got is the camera slightly off here? Let me just do it a bit that way. There we go. I think that's better. All right. So, you can see we did some exploring before, and we've got level 1. We had relatively, actually, it was a pretty run-down level with dumps and abandoned locations. We had a dump and we had a snake pit where the dungeon occupants used to gamble, snake fight. We've got the fungal geist over here in the corner. We've got some religious items, and I was able to weave some narrative around that, which you can see. The last 2 episodes are available on the YouTube channel, so you can go back and have a look there. Awesome. BG3. Have you tried BG3 yet? Was that Battlegrounds? Is that what it is? No, I only play PUBG just as sort of a bit of an adrenaline kick. Baldur's Gate. Oh, I see. Yes. No, I haven't. It doesn't really interest me, to be honest. I've seen. I don't really feel like it's aimed at my market, at me. I think it's aimed at more younger people, maybe. I don't know. When it comes to that sort of that sort of linear narrative, not a big fan of it. I prefer open world stuff where you can just do what you like. Now I know that people say you can do that in Baldur's Gate 3, but you have to really kind of complete certain tasks, don't you, to move forward. And I know that there are branching paths, and you can have different endings and stuff like that, but it just still feels a bit restricted for me. That's just how I see it. Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying about Baldur's Gate. I don't know. It's just too glossy for me. Too kind of everything looks so perfect, and I'm not a big fan of the 5e setting. Like Forgotten Realms. I prefer settings like Dark Sun or Gritty Dungeons, or I guess Shadow Dark. That kind of setting, something a bit darker. So yeah. Mate, I'm 53 and I started with 1. Yeah, I did Baldur's Gate 1, of course, but it was different back then. Now I look at this and it's all fangled, and it's just not for me. I don't know. I just never felt the need to play it. Maybe that's my problem. You know, I'm sure that many people have enjoyed it, but it had some pretty. I don't know. They're all so pretty, aren't they? On these things, even the ugly ones. You know, I'm not drawn to something that's so aesthetically sort of stunning like that. It's a weird thing to try and explain, but it is. Yeah, absolutely. Was the original Icewind Dale was brilliant? Yes, I loved that. So yeah, but those were like the isometric games like that. released back in the 90s or the early noughties. You had the isometric view, and it wasn't so difficult. It was achievable. And, open world online survival wasn't as big. Now, I played EverQuest a lot back in the day, and I really enjoyed EverQuest. And Star Wars Galaxies, say, for example. Massive open world where, I could choose and I'd make my own houses and stuff like that. I loved all that stuff. Apparently, I've never added the animal companions, lol. Late backer for that for the first time. Don't worry about it, Nick. Right. So, yeah, I mean, look, I absolutely love the fact that all these things exist. It's great, and I love seeing people. My oldest daughter loves Baldur's Gate 3, so I absolutely love the fact she does that. I love the fact she loves it. So I'm happy for people to enjoy it. It's just not my thing. So. Which may be slightly controversial, so I hope it isn't. Right, so that was level 1. So we finished level 1 and we went into town. So as we all know, Starglider 77, good to see you. Good evening, Toby. Loved the last 2 playtests. It's shaping up to be really nice. I didn't back the Animal Companion, but have now. Well, thank you, Starglider. Thank you. I very much appreciate that, my friend. Right, so the Animal Companion, it just helps for me. Originally, I thought, should I do this? But then I thought to myself, is this going to expand the narrative? No, this is, well, I guess you could say it's slightly. I haven't added milk to it, but it's Bailey's. It's an Irish liqueur, whiskey and cream, I think. Right, so we are going to go to town. Let's just get this here. So there's a number of things you can do in town. We found the exit on the map here. And just get this section in the book. There's a couple of tables. Alright, so leaving the dungeon. Alright, we haven't liberated any prisoners. Let's put that there. So we haven't liberated any prisoners, so we don't roll on that. I'm not going to sell any stuff on them. Oh. So we can sell our gems. To sell all of your non-coin loot, first establish what you want to sell and its value. Now, gems. Can I make a reference to gems? I just need to check this. I like to try and make sure I get these things right, even though they are my rules. I know, but it looked so milky. That's all because I drink mine with milk. Yes, a lot of people do drink it with milk, so I can understand why you asked. Yeah, I've never been a big fan. I actually I don't really like milk that much. But the taste of this is just too alluring. I love it. All right. Okay. So we are going to go to the tavern, I think. Maybe we'll do tavern exploits. At the local tavern, you can swap towns over a few pints. If you wish to do so, roll on the tavern table. It could be that what you learn may reveal something useful in the dungeon. So Aim to roll high. I'm not putting anything in my loot lockup. I don't have any minor religious artifacts. Straight whiskey for me, says Graham. Good for you. Never been able to drink it. Just I find it too strong. So I cover it in milk or cream. So what I'm going to do is, with the gems retain their full value, but almond scrolls, potions, and magic items are only worth half. Right, okay, there we go. I thought it was in there. Right, so we can sell the gem, which we're going to do, which is a mid-quality ruby. Now, have I got my... Here it is. Mid-quality ruby is 24 gold, which we're going to do that. 24 gold. Just take this off here. And then we're going to have a look and see if I can get any armor for that. Because I've got... Clive says, I love my single malts. Yeah. I've always thought, you know, that I should get into it. But the couple of times that I've tried it, I just felt it just so kind of tough on the throat. Anyway, I'm trying to cut back on drinking rather than take up new drinking hobbies. Although I do appreciate a good tipple. Right, so 24. Let's have a look at the armor. Have a look at the armor table in here. What have we got? So I've got 20. I need to have a look at. So we could get something good here. We've got the jerkin up there, which is kind of body armor. So you can't have two bits of body armor in the same location. So if we were to get something like a leather jacket, I mean, a jacket you could probably wear around it. There's a certain hide doublet probably you couldn't wear with it, but you wouldn't want to, because they're just one die. So we're going to get something like, let's have a look. We've got 24, and we've got some silver. We could get a bishop's mantle for a 5 and a 4. There, let's do that. Bishop's mantle, which is that thing that goes around the top of your chest, around your neck. There, and it kind of protects that whole top of the torso. I like a good tipple. It's possibly the most British thing you've ever said on stream. Heavy Metal Hero. Good to see you. How's it going? It's going well. We're just getting started. I'm just buying a bishop's mantle in town. And that is 5 and 4. So it's a primary 5 and a secondary 4. And that is -1 damage. Okay. So now primary 4s and 5s and secondary 4s, I take some damage off, so that'd be good. Okay. So we sold the ruby. And we have 1 experience point on coal. So we're not doing anything with coal at the moment. And we've leveled up there. Fantastic. Healing potion. So we spent the 20 gold on the bishop's mantle. So we've got 4 left. And 3 silver. Fantastic. Mainframe, good to see you. How are you doing? Right. Okay, I think we're ready those in order there. So, got a new map here, and we're going to do another 20. Just get to the corners here. So that's going to be a corner. Got a bit of light behind it. That's going to be a corner. Going to do 20 by 20 again. And that is a corner there. The apothecary haunts me in this game. Good, thanks Toby. Hope all is well and with yourself. It is, my friend. It is level 2, but May. Can't believe it's May. It's like a few weeks, 4 weeks until UK Games Expo. Rhaegar and Cole. We can put some notes up there. We'll get the border going. Okay. Right. Just going to draw this in. Now, as I said before, this is the camera's slightly to my left, so I do draw slightly at an angle with this. So I do apologise. That looks a bit weird, but I'm just going to go straight in with the pen on these. Like so. Yeah, suddenly go quiet when I'm drawing lines. Not very straight. I've got the mouse mat underneath is slightly soft, so the pen sinks in a little bit. We'll also have a look at level 2. There is a boss on level 2, which does appear as a percentage chance of that boss room appearing before the last room. If you roll it, then you have to move on. Right there. Da-da-da, deceptively square. Okay, so level 2 tables. This is the Spiral edition. Level 2, the Domain 101. So here. Alright, so you have to have encountered 60%, see the 60% unique, of the dungeon if you roll that room. Otherwise you roll again. And then you put it there. If it doesn't appear, it then becomes the last room that you encounter. Okay? So you make sure that is the final room, because this is the boss, the Overlord. Patrick Wells, how are you doing? Can't tell you how many times I've counted out squares. Never thought to trace it out, lol. Yeah. Well, I've drawn thousands of maps over the years. Maybe not thousands, hundreds. But yeah, just a little bit. Get the corners, basically. Just get the corners, Patrick. Tip of the day. Right, okay, so we're going in here, and we're going to have a room down at the bottom here. So we've got to remember, we've got Cole with us. Cole has distract, swoop, and retrieve. Can retrieve light objects from out of reach spaces. Okay, it's a kind of useful general skill. Okay, now, so last week I was rolling in this. I had a comment on the video that this was quite loud. Now, all you people in there, is that too loud? And should I just throw it like that? It doesn't quite go as well. What do people think? Is the rattling too noisy? Because the mic is just there, and it could actually be a little bit ear bashing. Gathering opinions. It's okay, Mick says. Okay. It's fine. It's a satisfying sound. There's a certain truth to that, isn't there? Yeah. Good point. Good point. All right then. Anybody? I don't mind not doing it. The rattle is great. Thanks, guys. If I do that, it kind of quietens it down a little bit. All right. It's fine. Okay then. So, let's do the first one. Here we go. All right. So, 1x4. Now, we're going to make that 2x4. Just because you can't have a corridor as your first room. I'm making a ruling on that. But this got 3 exits. So it's slightly larger than the previous one. And we're going to have the exit slightly off here. And there we go. Into the dungeon we shall go. All right. So, which way are we going to go? Let's go. We go left again. Going left. Let's have a look. Let's see what we get. Yellow first. Oh, I've got to roll for size. Let's do that. Sorry. Getting ahead of myself. And doors. That'll be good. Okay, so it is in fact a corridor, 5 long with 1 exit. All right then. I love getting corridors. I'm gonna go. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm just going to put the exit at the end. I'm going to make it go upwards actually, just like that there. Superb. All right. Next room. Going to just follow it straight along. All right, we have a 4x2 with 1 exit. So let's put it in here. It's a kind of narrow room. Right, we're skirting around. 4x2. Sorry, I nearly did that wrong. Keep an eye on me if I make a mistake. All right, here we are. Put the exit over this side. All right. So, 1 exit. Let's have a look. We'll roll to see what room it is. Do it again. Level 2. Yellow first. 23. Is that the number I've rolled before? That would be weird. Holding cell. A wooden cell has been built into this chamber and has a small food hatch. Roll a d6. 1 to 4. The jailer is here. You must fight them. If they survive, roll If you survive, roll an EMP2. Reinforced doors. Okay. So we've got a holding cell in this area here with a potential jailer. Now, okay, I've done some bars there. Let's put a line through that as well. Bit scrappy. Now, is the jailer around? Let's have a look. Now, the roll was holding cell 1 to 4. The jailer is here. The jailer is here. So we're going to fight the jailer. Right, let's get things set up for that. 1. The jailer is a level 1 character, so this shouldn't be too tricky. So a light intro into this. Where is he? Here. Pretty easy, I reckon. Pretty straightforward. We'll just put him there. And we need reinforced doors. Now, what was my symbol for reinforced doors? Ah, here it is. This is the crib sheet bookmark. Reinforced doors have the cross through them. Okay. So let's put a reinforced door here. Okay. Much higher chance that will be locked. Whenever I see a locked door, I'm like, in a game, I'm like, I want to know what's beyond it. Right. So I've got my raven Cole. Now I am going to encourage Cole to swoop in. Slashes for d6 damage plus half heft, which is 6. So d3 plus d6 plus 3 damage. Now to activate, all right. So to make this actually work, I need to roll 2 or above. If I roll a 1, he fails. Something stops him from doing it. It's fine. Swoops in, does the damage, d6 plus 3. 9 damage. All right. But there is a consequence because he has to roll. That is pretty powerful. Has to roll on, so swoop, roll on UNOCI, this table here. Unpredictable nature of combat. Let's see what happens here. 6. The companion is harried by the attack. It cannot attack next round. Okay, so whatever happened, Cole was kind of maybe caught, battered, flustered, has kind of flown away, can't attack next go. But I think the damage is pretty much done. We have a jailer down to 1. $10 down to 1. Okay, right. So, and that's bearing in mind that is now a level 2 ability against a level 1 character, so it should be stronger. I'm going to be thinking about that as we go along. So here we go. Round 1 for me. There we go. We got a 5/6 with 2 shift. I go up to 1 there, but I need 2 to go down to 4, so I don't hit. Watching a playthrough is thanks, Graham. Hasn't it got 6 HP? Ah, you know what I was looking at? I was looking at the XP Thank you, David. Yes, it is dead. I tell you what, we'll just play with it at 10 HP. Just going to do that. We've started and we'll finish with 10 HP. All right. It swings. He swings. 2, 4. Has got a 5-1 and a 3-3. No, can't quite. If he had one more. And then we've got a 3-6. For me, 3. No, I can't. Can't make it either way. He gets an attack. 5, 4. No, can't shift it. One more, he would have been able to. 2, 5. Wow. This is round 3. Maybe we should have done it with 6 HP. 2, 5. I can't shift that. 2, 1. 2, 1. No. Okay. We thrashed around for the first 3. Now we're going into the round 4. We both get +1 shift. 5, 4. D6 +3. Now, his armour, barge on secondary 2s. Won't do anything. He's dead. 4 +3 is 7 damage. And we'll take him down to 6. And I'm going to keep an eye on what I'm reading here. That's a kick-ass jailer. Frank, you're right. Yep, definitely. Okay, so we kill the jailer. We do have a pouch table to roll on there, so let's do that. Here, pouch table 1 +1. 10. There are some Zumerus leaves and 2 low quality gems. Roll twice on the gem table. Zumerus leaves. Let's put those on there. Okay. And 2 low quality gems. Very nice. What's this jailer been up to? That's what I want to know. Okay. Just get the table. Bear with me. Here. Gem table. Right. First one, 6. A diamond. Very nice. And 6 again. 2 diamonds. Wow. Okay, 2 low quality diamonds. Very nice. Right, we also have to roll on. Let's write that room name in. So that was the holding cell. I'm going to roll on the cell table. I feel holding cell. I'm going to write it here. Squeeze that in. Just like that. Holding cell, roll on EMP2. I'll look that up in the back. Just on the index. So check. Was it 2? Yeah, it was EMP2, which is 91. Let's do this. Here we go. And encounter prisoner table 2. 7. The poor soul has been beaten and lays splayed across the cell. They are dead. Oh man. We got a dead person in the cell, so we couldn't liberate any prisoners. Just going to do a little person lying in here. Oh dear. Well, that's bad luck. Okay, reinforced doors. Roll for number of exits. Check if a door is locked. Okay. So what do we got here? Reinforced 5 or 6. It's locked. We're okay. It's a 4. It's unlocked. So we're going to go through that door, and we are going to roll for the next room. Rooms level part 1. 36. Dark chamber. Oh, no, we're not. Got to roll for room size. Oh dear. Oh dear. Getting all excited. Next room. Okay, it's actually a corridor with 1 exit. It's 1 high and 5 across with 1 exit, which is fascinating. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right up to the end. And we're going to have the exit at the end like this. This is weaving its way along here, this dungeon. Okay, then I'm going to roll for the... going to roll again. Roll it again. We have got a 5 by 4 with 1 exit. Just have 1 exit in all of these. 5 by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 with 1 exit, which I'm going to swing over this side. Okay, can we see that all right? The bookmarks are an absolute lifesaver. Such a great crib sheet. Thanks, David. They're very handy. It all comes from feedback from the community when we were designing the game. When I was designing it originally, we were looking at crib sheets and what was the best way to do that. And as it happens, the bookmark, I can't actually remember how it came up or who said it or whether it was myself. I don't remember, but it seemed to be like a natural evolution. And then so we got the value bookmark as well, which is very useful. Just draw this in just so you guys can see a bit more clearly. There we are. Okay, not perfect, but you know, are dungeon walls perfect? That's always my argument. Have you ever been to a dungeon? I was in a crypt fairly recently, which could have been a dungeon. The walls were not even. Right, that's clearer. There we are. I might even do some cross hatching at some point. Okay. Let's do this. Right, we'll roll again. $35. Throne room. So we can't have that one now. 60%. There's definitely not explored 60%. So we can't put that in yet. 26. Kennel. Right. So we've had a kennel before. So we had a kennel before. I'm going to re-roll that. Okay. We had it on another level. But we want something different. 31. Resting lounge. Okay, this is good. Resting lounge. Let's put this in here. Actually, I could write it in here. Let's take that one out. Just write that in there like that. Okay. Now, what have we got in the resting lounge? Just bear with me a sec. Add a bit of air in here. Okay. Right. Resting lounge. There are benches and armchairs lined along the walls here. The floor is listed with boots. Roll a d6, 1 to 4. A mercenary is resting here. They rise from their chair. You must face them. Random exits. No, it's not unique. Okay. So let's just put a few chairs in here. A few benches. Another chair. We want a chair here. Another bench along there. Maybe some wood grain in it just to give it a bit of character. There we go. And boots. People have been taking their boots off. It's a bit smelly. Okay, let's see if the mercenary is there. Because he's going to not be very happy if he's been disturbed. 1 to 4. 5. Woo! He's not there. Okay, so that's fine. He's gone off somewhere on his rounds, the mercenary. And nothing else. So what have we got? So let's have a think. So we've got some boots. We've got some chairs and benches. Not a lot to work with. Maybe what I'll do is I will take some shoelaces. Let's take some shoelaces. They may be handy to tie something up. So a bit like twine, but not exactly like twine. That's yeah, that works. Okay. Right, what have we got? Right, we're going to go up to this room here. And I remember to roll the right dice this time. Okay, so we're carrying on this windy pathway. Another one exit. There are other numbers on here, trust me. So it's a 3x4. And we're going to have 3. I'm going to just squeeze this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put the exit up here. I'm going to do an exit up here. Like so. Okay. And then we're going to have to figure out what the room is. We have to figure out, this was a random. Let's just do the exits table here. Exits table 2. 24. Metal doors. Alright. That's annoying. I should have really paid more attention there. Sorry about that, guys. And the metal door symbol is filled in. And if it's a 4, 5 or 6, it's locked. It's locked. Alright, in which case what I will do is I'll backtrack that a little bit, and I am gonna either, I've got no lock pits, I don't have any phase scrolls, so what we'll do is draw this in, And I'm going to put a little L beside it there. Little L, locked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack through here. I'm going to come up this door here. I could wait for a patrol. Have to use a ration up. Have to use up 2 rations because you've got your animal companion as well. So we're not going to bother too much. So I'm just going to backtrack to this area here and go up into this room. Here we go. Right. So it's a corridor, 1 high and 3 across with 3 exits. All right. So it's a T-junction. Just going to do it here. So we've got 1 up, like that. And then I've got to pick one of these, obviously. I think we're going to go this left hand one here. See which way that goes. Right, it's a 3x4 with 2 exits. Right, there's not really a huge amount of space. I could go up, let's go up 4. So what? So 3, 4. We could just connect these up here, couldn't we? That'll look fine. Going to bring those up like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. I know you really shouldn't have it on the same wall if you can avoid it. But if, say, it connects up with something, you feel it's too close, just throw it in there. Yeah, really shouldn't have it on the same wall. I'm going to leave that off there. Really shouldn't have it on the same wall. I was just drawn, it was just kind of suckered me in a little bit, that one. Alright, so there's only room for 1 exit, and that is going up the top here. Okay. Let's see what's in this room. All right. Right, we all rolled on the first page so far. See if we get a high number. No. 16, Oath Court. A line of pews face 3 tall chairs and wooden panelling lines the walls. A lone barrack knight standing guard roars and attacks you. If you survive, roll on RATT 1 + 2. Okay, this is our first real challenge, okay? The barrack knights are one of the stronger elements in this level. Right, let's just fill this space with some of the features. I'm going to do some pews along here. Like so. And then we've got the... There's a what was it called? A wooden panelling. 3 tall chairs. Okay, put some chairs up here like this. Up here. Nice. Pew. Okay, like that. We've got some panelling on the walls. I'm just going to draw in just an extra line here on the walls. Oath Court. All right. Pretty cool. Barrack Knights, level 2. Much harder. Let's see how we do with this. Quite a few people died to Barrack Knights. Here we go. Part of the Barrack Order, the well-armoured Barrack Knights are a group of trained warriors who serve the Overlord and follow an oath to protect the subterranean world from that which is above. away. So, naturally, we're going to have Crow swoop in with his first attack. And incidentally, before Crow should have got an XP point. There. So, 18 HP. Write him on there. 18 HP. Right, our bird. Let's see. Six. Fine. Activation. Needed a 1 or higher because it's round 1. And does D6 plus half HE. So it's a D6 plus 3. So 4. And then we've got to roll on the table. Okay, down to 14. I'm going to roll on here. And of course, the question is, a raven fighting a knight with full armor. Now, is that going to be too powerful for a raven to do damage to? What do we think? I think it could probably do damage. I wonder whether we could work a ruling in if the something to do with armor or interrupts. If the enemy has an armor-based interrupt, deduct it from the companion's damage. Companions. Yeah, beak through the eye slits in the helmet. I like it. Could well be, but I like the thought of that. Because it's always a question of whether something is too OP, and if there's a narrative way of countering that, then maybe. We'll see. I'll have a think about that one. All right. So he does the damage. He gains an XP. 3 XP. Shouldn't do it tally. Looks like 11. And then we've got to roll on the table. Maybe this table is affected by armor points, armor based, or affects the unpredictable nature of the combat table. So if the enemy has armor, and that could involve some kind of plates or some kind of body natural armor, then the damage that it deflects, potentially you could take it, you could add it as a minus to the roll on the unpredictable nature of combat table, and then that would give it more of an increased chance that when the animal was attacking that enemy, they may well have got into trouble. That's something to... Miguel, how are you doing? Good to see you. Right. So I'm going to roll on here anyway. We'll keep it as it is for the moment. 8. Your companion performs the ability well. No side effects of that one. Okay. Then you may decide you don't want to send your companion against well-armoured enemies. Right. Let's do this. We have normal combat. So we've got to decide whether we're going to try and use Cole. Again, he can do that attack twice. Again, that may feel a bit OP, we'll see. Let's do round 1. 4/4. I can shift it to Incisive Heft. Now, here's shoulder guards. Primary ones, -2 damage. Helm, primary ones, -1 damage. Secondary ones, banded chest plate on secondary 2s and 3s. We're good there. So, nothing affects this one. My Incisive Heft, which is a D6 plus 3. So that's another 5 damage, which takes him down to 9. Okay. His turn. He's got 3/3, 6/4 with 2 shift. Right, so he can do a precise stab. D6 -1. That is a primary 6 and a secondary 4. I can do -1 damage with my Bishop's Mantle. Kind of tries to stab me high, but my Bishop's Mantle protects me a little bit. So it's -2. 0 damage. Deflected onto the Bishop's Mantle. King kind of like kicks off, and we are good. Right, round 2. Do I want my Raven to try their second? Yeah, we've got to do it, haven't we? This is the thing. This is what we're testing. Is this too OP? Or not strong enough? Slashes at the enemy. Right. It's 2. So it needs a 3 or higher to do it. 5. So we are good. Able to perform the action. D6 plus heft. So we get how much? 3. So that is 6 points of damage, which takes the knight down to 3. Okay. That is pretty powerful. But we do have to roll on the other table at the back of the book, the unpredictable nature of combat. 10. Your companion demonstrates strength by causing an extra point of damage. There you go. So there are definite benefits to that. So an extra point of damage and an extra, that is cool, yeah. Gets up to 4. And down to 2 now. Alright, round 2, my turn to strike. 1, 4. Nope, I can't shift it. The Barrack Knight's turn. 3/3, 6/4. Nope. No such luck. Right, now, I can have Cole do Distract. Now, Distract, the enemy has -1 shift for this round. Now, I think I did slightly update that in the new, but I haven't printed out the new. So we will do it. -1 shift, just straight up. He's got to roll a 4 or higher because to activate this skill, and fails. So it doesn't activate. So the bird cannot attack. It then rolls to me. Now with that particular skill, each skill has a little description about the XP. This is a attack here, distract. XP. Distract. Definitely got extra with distract. What's the floor? The companion darts out from the cover and flies around the enemy, distracting them. No, nothing else. There's no additional penalty. It doesn't say about gaining XP, so we'll just only if it's performed with that one you get the XP. Okay, So we have Cole on 4. So we'll leave it like that. Cole is now standing back. Can't do a lot more. It's knackered. It's been a close call for it. It's my go. Here we go. A 3-4. Now I can, at this point, turn it to hack. D6 damage. The Barrack Knight has chest plate -2 to secondary 2s here. So it's secondary 2. -2. D6 -2. 4 damage. Okay. So that takes it down to -2 and it is killed. The Barrack Knight is down. That's 88. Oh, did I do the XP last time? I don't think I did. The Jailer was 10 XP. 129. And this guy is 88 XP. So that is 129 plus 88. 129 plus 90 is 219, so it's 217, something like that. Right, that means we just check in the book here. We've got this right. We're not quite at the next level, I don't think. I think the next level for the adventurer. Just have a look here. We need to hit 500 for the next level. Okay, so handy XP. The Jailer was lower level than you. Good point. Good point. Thank you for that, David. Good call. So if something's lower level, you kill it, you don't get the XP. Barrack Knight has a pouch table 2 plus 2 plus 3d6 gold. So let's put the gold in. So that is 7 gold, not as much as I'd hoped. Put 7 gold in on here, so we've got 11 gold. All right, and the pouch table. Here we go. Pouch table 2 plus 2. Come on. 9 plus 11. Inside is a potion. Roll on potion table 3 and some herbs. Roll on HST1. Fantastic. I thought that was only for realms. No, it's a rule that applies across the game now. Now, if you're playing just like version 1 game, you don't have to implement that rule. But I implement it across the whole broad range of things. There's a little section in the beginning of realms that talks about it, actually, and because when you're in the realm, you can go back in the dungeon as well. So it needed to be consistent across the two, really. So I thought, looking at balance and how things work out, it is better. It is a better rule. So good point though, Clive. Right, so we have got a potion on pot table 3. We'll quickly roll that up now. And some herbs. So we're not doing too badly. What are we going to get here? Potion table 3. Potion of Constancy. Potion of Constancy. Let's write that down on here and we'll have a look at what that does in a minute. And then the herbs. Herbs up here. 3. Some Ilias petals. We've got a few things now, haven't we? Got some Ilias petals. So you've got Zumerus leaves, Ilias petals. Just those two at the moment. Maybe we'll be able to make some kind of herbal concoction. No problem, Clive. All right, that's not a bad little turnout there. Yeah, potion. Let's look at the potion. So the potion of constancy is up here. +1 precision and +1 discipline for 1 dungeon level. So maybe we'll take that when we go down to the next level. Save it up for, unless we feel like there's a need for it before then. But I think we're okay. Pretty impressive. We've had no mishap attack rolls. Now, on reflection, the animal companion was pretty OP in that situation. Couldn't use his distract, which is good in a way, because we don't want them necessarily hitting every time. But the ability struck me as being powerful against that particular enemy. So maybe, as I was saying, thinking of adapting the rule for armoured enemies. Yeah, I think I may introduce something like that. Have a look at how I can tweak that for some of the other abilities. Sort of fine tune it a little bit. All right. So, what doors did this room have? Let's have a look. Okay. Humanity Part 2. Level 1, Level 2. This was the Oath Court. There's a room to... There's a thing to roll on afterwards as well. Wooden doors. Just put a wooden door in here. Like so. And there was also the religious RATT1 table, which is in here. So we're actually doing really well from this. That was 100. Okay. RA religious artifacts treasure table. Mainframe bought a 500-page dotted pad from a certain Chinese online retailer. Works a treat for this game. Awesome. Mainframe, are you part of the Facebook page? If you are, be great to share that purchase to show people that book, because other people may be inclined to do the same thing. And also maybe share some of your maps. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. Yeah, we love sharing stuff like that. And if you're not part of the Facebook page, then have a look and see what you think. Right, here we go. 7. Was there a plus on this? I think there may have been. Was it plus? +2. Okay. Thanks, Mainframe. 9. There is a small ornate casket here, which you slowly open and find a pouch with D6 gold coins inside. Okay. 3 gold coins. Ornate casket. Very useful. And a pouch. Let's make a note of this. Okay. Could be useful. Could be. Ornate casket and plus a pouch. Did this retailer have 4 letters in his name per chance? Possibly begins with Or maybe E. There we go. Let's right. Let's check the wooden door. 3, we're good. 6, it was locked. Let's go on to this next room. What have we got? Entry level rooms. Here we are. 26. Kennel, where'd that before? Let's do something different. 51. Right. 51. Guardhouse. There is a wrought iron cell here built into the wall. You can make out a form inside. If you can successfully pick the lock, roll on EMP2. If you fail to pick it, roll on L2P as a patrol comes. Oh. Hang on. I'm doing it again, aren't I? Okay. We'll do it as a guard post. Let's just do the room. Okay, it's a small room. Forget the guard post. It's a small room, 2x3, with 1 exit. Again, we'll put it up higher. Put it up here, and we'll look at the small room. All right, small room. Da, da, da. Level 1, level 2 small rooms. Fantastic. Here we go. Our first small room. 7. Mauritanie font. There is a stone font to Mauritanie here. The texture of the stone appears as if exposed muscle. You can make an effort offering into the font. If placed correctly, gain 1 favour point. Okay. Good. Let's do that. Let's see if we've got something that Mauritanie might want. Let's just put the font there like that. Okay, with this kind of ribbed, kind of skin muscle like texture. Awesome. It might be a bit splash of water there, but there may not actually be water in it. Okay. Mauritanie, let's have a look. On here, on these cards. Where is the god card here? Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Blood, meat, leather, horn. Dragon scales, which aren't actually dragon scales, because there aren't dragons in this game. There is a creature that's like a dragon. And rubies. Now, we had a ruby, didn't we? But we got rid of it. We got the 2 diamonds, but he doesn't want diamonds. He wants rubies. Horn. Let's have a look. See what we got. What have we got in our little selection back here? Okay. A leather wrap. Fantastic. 2 bones. Bone isn't stipulated there. Cord. Right, we're going to use this leather wrap. That came around. I can't remember what that actually was wrapping at the time. I'm going to place the leather wrap there. Take that out. And we're going to get a point. Okay, Mark, good to see you. No problem, my friend. I know it's not always convenient Friday evenings for people. But thanks for sticking your head in, my friend. So we got a Mauritanie favour point. Right. Starting to get some ticks in these boxes, aren't we? Right. Awesome. Okay. Right. I am feeling quite tired. I'll be honest with you. You can tell I'm missing a few things, like rolling for the room sizes. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to call it there. It's been well over an hour. It's approaching an hour and a half. we've explored some stuff. We've had a really interesting encounter with the Barrack Knight, and it made me think about, and this is what testing does, it gives you specific situations that you wouldn't necessarily thought about. But an armoured foe, for example, would they have more protection from your companion? And would that then affect how the companion interacts with the enemy? So I think it would. I think it potentially could. So I might look and play around with a little rule shift there. So yeah, definitely worth it. It's good stuff. I hope you guys found it interesting. If you're still here, still watching the video, if you don't mind clicking the thumbs up, leaving comments would be fantastic as well. If you've got any ideas, suggestions, or just want to just comment on something that's happened, go ahead. Why the hell not, guys? So I hope you have a good weekend. I'm going to go get some sleep. And yeah, let's hope it's nice weather tomorrow. Right, you take care. Thanks for being here, guys, and I will catch up with you very soon.